Another day and another Marvel rumor that has me somehow even less interested in one of their upcoming projects than I already was. Let's discuss.
Our content sucks. Our content sucks.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Jon Bernthal's The Punisher has received almost unanimous praise across the board since he was cast in the role. And even though I haven't personally been a fan overall of the projects that he was in, it is still difficult for me to picture anyone else being worthy of putting on the skull vest at this point. Jon Bernthal is a phenomenal actor. He's got a great screen presence. He has the perfect amount of intensity and badass attitude to make his version of the Punisher stand out. Unfortunately for him, he has been sucked into the MCU vortex, and if Daredevil's treatment is any indication, things aren't looking good for Frank. A lot of people are very excited about the prospect of him being included in the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day. And as I've stated many times before, if you are looking at things purely on the surface level, I guess seeing the Punisher and Spider-Man on screen together in live action for the first time is enough to make some fanboys squeal.
Let's go!
But being who I am, someone who looks at everything critically, I have to ask the question why. There has been absolutely no build-up as it pertains to a partnership or an altercation between these two characters. And if you also consider that this movie includes the Hulk and so many other characters that I've lost count at this point, you have to wonder, given Marvel's track record, is the Punisher being used for the right reasons? For people with standards, it's not enough for him just to be there. It has to make sense. And a glorified cameo, or using him to prop up another Spider-Man movie because they have no faith in Tom Holland's Spider-Man to carry a movie on his own, isn't exactly the circumstances that I'd like to see the Punisher utilized.
No, don't like that.
As a fan of these characters from their comic book incarnations, I have grown tired of seeing them being used as a gimmick to disguise piss-poor storytelling. Best case scenario, they have an important reason to include him in this story, and we get some badass fight scenes in the process. However, if this recent rumor about the Punisher's inclusion in Brand New Day is true, the red flags are already starting to go up everywhere. This rumor comes from My Time to Shine Hello, so again, take this with a massive grain of salt. I say this every time and people still think that I'm co-signing the rumor, so honestly I don't know why I bother. But in any event, this person is claiming that, quote, the Punisher will reportedly have a female partner in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So let me start this off by saying it is entirely possible for a competent creator to create a character that helps Frank in some capacity, whether that character is male or female, and still make it work. The problem is that the people at Marvel Studios rarely show themselves to be competent creatively.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Could I see Frank having a Whistler-type character helping him behind the scenes in his quest to deliver vigilante justice? Sure. Do I have faith in Marvel to make a character like that work right now? Absolutely f***ing not. Now, I realize that Frank has formed alliances in the past, so before anyone gets all upset and starts throwing comic book panels at me, I encourage you to settle down. It's not the fact that Frank can't have a partner, it's that I don't really feel like he needs one. Similar to Batman in live action, I kind of feel like the Punisher just works better solo in live action as well. I don't know, when I think of the Punisher, he just doesn't scream teamwork to me. Sure, he's been a part of teams in the past or adjacent to teams in the past, but in this Punisher's first cinematic outing, do we really need to muddy the waters any further? Especially in a movie like this that is already overstuffed with characters to begin with. Is there even enough available screen time to justify a character like this's existence? Or is Marvel just doing it for the same reason they always do it, to check another box in the most disingenuous way possible?
Something very familiar about all this.
Marvel Studios has a pretty horrible track record when it comes to developing the more current female characters. And their parent company, Disney, has an even worse track record of trying to pass the torch from a character that everyone loves to a character that nobody gives a shit about in scenarios just like this. Now, I'm not saying that this mysterious character, if in fact they do exist, is intended to be the next Punisher. I'm simply saying that including a character like this, given what we've seen recently, is risky when you consider how it will be perceived in the big picture. The Punisher does not need a partner, a sidekick, or a potential replacement in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I really think that including Spider-Man, the Punisher, and the Hulk in the same movie is more than enough hero characters to go around. But I know that sometimes Marvel can't help themselves in their quest to make content for an audience that I'm not sure exists. It should also be noted that this rumor is eerily similar to the rumor I reported on a couple of days ago about the Avengers Doomsday script being thrown out. I didn't report on this part of the rumor in that video, but the sources claimed the script was too female-centric, and that's why changes are being made. Now, I thought that this sounded like the Scooper adding a little bit of their own agenda to the rumor to spice things up a bit. And it is entirely possible that that is exactly what they were doing.
Because it's all part of the plan.
But when you hear rumors like this Punisher one, and when you think about Marvel's recent track record, they do have a tendency to place too much faith in female characters that they did not put the effort into developing. If the audience doesn't give a shit about a character or hasn't been given a reason to care about that character, there's a good chance they will reject that content. And we know that that's true because we've seen it happen many times in the more recent MCU phases. Either way, Marvel clearly needs Spider-Man Brand New Day to be a massive hit because they haven't had one of those in quite some time. So it might be best for them to stick to the tired gimmicks that got them their most recent box office success stories.
Y'all be cool. Right on.